It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you're watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather, and because we get hungry from time to time, we're sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Oh yes, and did I mention to you that we've got a cool week ahead? You don't have to look much further than, really, it's cold in the mornings, but really it's going to moderate a little bit as we head toward Thursday, but there are some snow opportunities ahead, and I use that word very, very deliberately. I didn't say snow expectations, I said snow opportunities, because too many people on day 5 and 6, which is really what Saturday and Sunday represent, get hung up and get pulled in this way and that way, because they believe everything they read online, so therefore it has to be exactly the way they think it. But we're going to get all of that and all the details of what you can expect and what you can do to prepare for what could be a winter event this upcoming weekend. But I get ahead of myself. We're talking about the cool weather. How about this? It was teeth chattering. I had to pull out the frozen face. It was 26 this morning. Given all that cold rain that we had on Sunday, it might have been hard to open the car door. It was like crunchy or maybe just cold and frosty too. We hit 26 degrees officially at 5:58 this morning, and we hit 46 degrees for an afternoon high at 3:59 p.m. So there you go. Most of us got around 45, 46. But it wasn't the 64 we had on Saturday. Saturday was delightful. My wife and I were down in Edenton this past Saturday. It was beautiful down there because the sun was shining. It was nice and balmy. But for you, for me, I don't know where you were, but today, even though Dr. King Day, a special day, the weather was just a little chilly. I got to admit, it was kind of chilly. You look at the satellite radar now, there's just a few wispy clouds coming overhead now. And I suspect it's all related to this cold front. It's a weak cold front. It's a dry cold front, but it could produce a few wispy clouds through the next couple of hours, and they may hug the coast or first thing tomorrow morning, which we'll look at here momentarily. But I want to kind of fly through this just to give you an indication that some are +6 or +4, meaning you're warmer now in Hampton, Newport News, or Williamsburg, but you're colder than you were this time last night if you're in Elizabeth City, Chesapeake, or Currituck. It just depends on your neighborhood. Temperature right now 36 in Norfolk. You're getting colder than Portsmouth, who's holding their own at 40. It's 43 in Edenton, 39 in Kitty Hawk, and 32 in Suffolk. The wind chill, where there is some wind moving, makes it feel like it's closer to 30 here in Norfolk and 31 in Virginia Beach. Overnight lows tonight should drop into the 20s. I've got us in the mid to upper 20s along maybe Suffolk, Hampton, Gloucester about 23, about 22 Matthews, and 32 for Corolla, and just above freezing for Nags Head first thing tomorrow morning. But here's the big story. I don't know too many people are going to tell you this, but I mean, you wake up tomorrow morning and it feels like 14. That's cold. We got a northwest wind tomorrow. So at 7 a.m. it may feel like 14 here, 17 peninsulas. So some neighborhoods will feel cold, but 21 is no picnic either, right? It's cold. Sunshine will be the dominant player tomorrow. It's just one of those cold, blustery days, given the fact the wind, even wind moving at 5 to 10, can make it feel a lot colder. Even at noontime, we're having a hard time getting above 30 in terms of the feels like temperature, and we may stop in the upper 20s even by 4 o'clock, given that wind potential. So tomorrow's planner, wherever you are, whether you're, maybe tomorrow's your trash pickup day, how about 7 a.m., 28? Winds again 5 to 10 out of the northwest. 38 is where I expect to finish tomorrow, and then starry skies tomorrow evening. Sunsets at 5:17. If you got a comment, would love to say hi to you. I got a note from Kim Thompson Jones. I think that one is from last week. I believe that was from the 15th. She says, I'm with Kurt on the 3 inches of snow he was requesting in the 5 o'clock news. Oh Kim, he's hoping for much more than 3. Now he's up the ante. But my question to you is, how much did you get on Sunday? Probably not much. In fact, I've only seen a few pictures of snow. Brenda Davis, one of our WTKR photographers, captured some pictures of snow in Gloucester County in Bennett, Virginia, and I'll show you that picture coming up here in just a moment. But as far as tomorrow, no worries. It's like, first things first. Let's break it down for you. Weather headlines: starry skies tonight, wind chills drop in the teens and 20s. A cool week ahead. Will be the 30s for highs tomorrow, 40s for highs the next day on Wednesday, and Thursday is likely to be the warmest day of the week. 50s. Remember, we hit 64, but that was last Saturday. This week, the warmest may be 54 on Thursday. And then I got snow opportunities ahead for those of you that are really rooting for snow. And I can't blame you. Maybe you didn't get enough. Maybe you're feeling like, I got to get one more. I got one more in me, Aldrich. Give me some snow. I'm just the messenger, right? This is from Brenda Davis. Now, I want to show of hands. How many of you had this in your backyard at 6:30 yesterday? Now, I'm not showing you a picture from like a week or two ago. This was yesterday. And some of you are like, I can't raise my hand because I'm in Chesapeake or I'm in Virginia Beach or Norfolk, and I just had rain, right? Norfolk picked up 0.77 inches of rain. Cold rain, that's it. That's it. But if you looked at the Weather Service, and I'm not throwing them under the bus, but I think it's an important teachable moment. If you had snow, did you get much? Before I get to that, I digress. I got to mention, it is now 7:45. I want to mention the deal of the week. This week, I got another great, one of my favorites, is the Pozzoli. $5 Pozzoli, WTKR David. If you order a Pozzoli, typically they're going to run you $7, $8, $9 depending on where you are. And I can tell you there are 5, now 6 locations that will honor this promo code, which are our TV call letters, WTKR, my first name David, and you can get a pepperoni and sausage, chicken bacon ranch, or buffalo chicken Pozzoli for $5. That's a sweet deal. Save you some money, but also it's a great lunch item. They're much more filling, bigger than they look in the picture. There are 6 locations, but 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. One of the cool things we do on this live stream is we like to give away free pizza. We're going to be giving away free pizza this Thursday. All you have to do is register. Doesn't take more than a minute or 2 tops in terms of your time. We just need to know where to mail the certificate, bottom line, and we get your permission to do so. WTKR.com/Marco is the place to go. The pizza for a year certificate looks like this. If you win, your name would be typed up here, and you would be receiving one of these in the mail. So you would actually get one large, one topping pizza every month for the rest of 2026. That's pretty sweet. And if you win, you will be announced. Your name will be announced next Thursday. So I'd love to have you win because I love it when our viewers win. WTKR.com/Marcos to satisfy your appetite. Okay, back to the question at hand. How many of you, from a show of comments, and I'm going to go ahead and check the comments here. Let me go ahead and import. That's the key word. I've got to import the new comments because I'm looking at old comments from last week. How many of you, from a show of hands, had nothing but rain, or maybe you did get some snow yesterday? And is it still there now? I suspect it's probably not. It's probably all gone. It's disappeared. It's no longer around. And that may be the situation. Kim Thompson Jones is giving me a note here about 2 minutes ago. Let me come back on this screen over here. She says, I'm ready for the weekend snow. She says she hopes because she's on Team Snow. See, I like to think of there's Team Spring and there's Team Snow. You could also say you're on Team Summer. Around here, we love our beaches, right? We love the water. We love the ocean. So you could be on Team Summer, but she is on Team Snow. We'll have to wait and see. The devil's in the details, Kim. That's my real message. But let me ask you this. How many of you saw this post? This came out from the National Weather Service yesterday. Well, wait a minute. That's when the event happened. That's right. So this is like low-hanging fruit. This was 9 o'clock. They said accumulation is likely to occur on grassy and elevated surfaces. Did you get any snow? Because they were expecting Norfolk to get almost a ½ inch. Right? Emporia, 0.6. Williamsburg, nearly an inch. Did you get that much? Maybe Gloucester did. Maybe some areas in Exmoor or the Eastern Shore might have picked up some snow, but not everybody did. My only point of pointing this out, oh, and by the way, they thought the worst case scenario was this. This was the high-end potential. This was issued yesterday, folks, the day of, right? Up to 3 inches could fall, worst case scenario, 1 in 10 chance. My only point is, if you were given a target, and they were expecting the worst case scenario, Franklin, Norfolk could pick up 2 inches. So my point is this, and this may not surprise some of you, for others it'll be like, you're going to feel like I'm a killjoy, but I'm really not. I'm just simply saying that if you have this as a target, and I give you a bow and arrow at camp, and I ask you to hit that target, you're like, I can do it. I have no skills in archery, but I can do it. It's right here. And still miss it, because they thought this was the worst case scenario yesterday. How much snow did you get in Norfolk? Nothing. How much did you get in Emporia? Probably nothing. Maybe, did you get 2 inches? You didn't get that much. That's not my way of saying, hey, the Weather Service didn't do their job. I'm saying there's always some uncertainty. So when you look at this upcoming weekend event, and some of you may have seen this post from the National Weather Service, Morehead City. If you really zoom in, and this is also inclusive of my East Tennessee viewers and friends, that would put you under the 40 percentile that you could have a storm that, how was it labeled? Probability of at least a minor winter weather impact. Now that's pretty vague. They did come back. I'll give them credit. The National Weather Service in Morehead City did say, and I'll read this to you because I think it's important. At 4:30 today, they said winter storm potential continues to increase this weekend. All right, some people are like, yes. Okay, we're still 5-6 days away, mind you. What I just showed you was day 0, right? It was the day of, and they still missed it. So while precipitation is likely, the fine details on snow versus freezing rain versus rain is still uncertain. They don't know. We don't know. The whole weather community, we don't know. Day 5 and 6. But for you to get yourself all worked up, and it just goes both ways, anxiety filled, oh gosh, it's going to snow hard. I mean, how much snow are some of these models spitting out? What if I said 8 to 11 inches? I've seen models that said 12 to 18 inches. I've seen some that have 0. So you're saying it could be 0 and it could be 18. Yeah, that's the range. But we're day 5, 6 away. So I'm laying all the cards on the table. But it's too early to react. I do think their advice was smart. The Morehead City office says, what can you do now? Begin to think about adjusting your travel plans, especially if traveling across the state. Ensure you're not running out of anything at home over the weekend. Okay, I mean, I can't fault that. There's no harm in that. But I'm not somebody to hype up a balloon, only have it go, and so we're getting nothing. We didn't get, how much did you get yesterday? Because they thought you could possibly pick up some snow yesterday in Norfolk, like 0.4, didn't get it. I didn't get it. It was just rain, right? Some of you got nothing. And those who were in Gloucester County did get some snow. It looks like it covered maybe the grassy surfaces, right? Snowing at Bennett, Virginia, that's Gloucester County. It's 6:30 on Sunday. So I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are. I'm going to get more in the weeds of this now that I've got your attention. And this is what the models, one of them anyway, seemingly thinks what's going to happen. So if this is Saturday, the timing, you got to remember, there are 3 T's. 3 T's. 3 T's. Temperature, track, and timing, right? Temperature, track, and timing. 3 T's. And they're not all even in agreement on the temperature, much less the track, much less the timing. Because the last I checked, one of the models thinks this is like a Saturday, Sunday event. One says, no, it's definitely Sunday. So how do you prepare? Well, you just throw on a blanket and say, throw up enough mud on the wall and see what sticks. That's like trying to peg Jell-O to the wall. That's hard to do. But I get ahead of myself. Let me show you this in case you haven't seen it. This takes you through 3:30 Saturday. Based on this model, most of the precipitation's off the coast. But you got to watch what's happening in Tennessee. But fear not, Tennessee. I've seen models where you don't even get the snow, that it moves north of you. I've seen it move north of Williamsburg. So there's some evidence that you get 0. And then there's the type of track. The track could change, and the profile, the temperatures could change. Too early, my friend. It's just too early. I know Kim's hoping, and I'm with her on the hope that she can hope that maybe she has something snow to look forward to, because Sunday would be the day to watch if this particular model were to verify. This is the European. So let me take you through this time. So that's 3:30 Saturday. It means most of Saturday's nothing. But boy, Saturday night comes in, and all of a sudden you start to see a lot of snow in that kind of purplish color. That would be accumulating snow, if it verified. But again, Sunday, last I checked, is 6 days from now. Not 1 day, not 2 days, not 3 days, 6 days. Things change. They change a lot, and boy, are they going to change. So my point is, if you look at this little ribbon of pink, which is going to be representative of freezing rain, and if we change, I think of that Friends episode, pivot, it's the inflection point. We're going to see what happens, right? I'm thinking of Russ Keller. But anyway, this model would suggest it's mainly rain for the Outer Banks, maybe a mix around the Albemarle, and then anything northwest of the Albemarle looked like it was all snow. That's 6 a.m. Sunday, and it just continues like so, but it continues to pivot, and then it tries to work its way out. So, too early to say. I mean, online's going to pump it up and people are going to click on it. I told you that clickbait is popular this time of year because this is the season for flakes and rumors of flakes. Long gone are the days where weather people just have to forecast the weather. We have to put out and put out fires online. That's not true. That's a bunch of noise. Yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is it's too far out. Too far out. People don't like that answer, but it's the truth. And if we couldn't nail down with Jell-O yesterday, imagine how hard is it going to be doing that on Dr. King Day for something that doesn't even happen until next Sunday. Now, the Norfolk low temperatures 25 Tuesday, 23 Wednesday, mid-30s Thursday and Friday. Clearly, we get colder on Saturday based on some of the modeling. I can't dismiss the cold, but the question is, will the precip go further north? I do think Thursday is the warmest day of the week. That is the fact. The normal high is 54, so we're going to be above average on that particular day. Got some other notes here. Stephanie is on here. Snoopy's on here. He says, I believe he is pointing out that we have, is well overdue for a good snowstorm. It's been a while since we had one. Probably, it's been since February 19th. I mean, you don't have to be that old to remember last February. Taj Brown is here. He's already in a panic buy mode. LOL. No, don't do that. I mean, let's face it. If you're going to eat something, hopefully you're eating something better than just bread and milk. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking you owe it to yourself to order something that's a little more, diversify your diet. Maybe bread and milk is, while everybody's getting bread and milk, maybe you're getting salmon and I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe some protein. But let me go ahead and show you 46 on Friday, 32 on Saturday. That's the expectation. Do I think a lot of this is hubbubaloo at this point? It's a lot of hype right now. But the precipitation chances, I think, is a 30% chance Friday for some Outer Banks rain on the Outer Banks. And then Saturday, if it forms, and again, precipitation type still yet to be determined. There's 3 T's, not 2, right? It's the timing. Even if I nail down the timing today, it's mainly Sunday. We don't know the track yet. We don't even know the temperature yet. That plays a big role. That plays a big role. All right. Polar vortex. I like to show you this because, as some of you know, the cold air around the North Pole rotates counterclockwise. But there are occasions when it will reverse. It'll displace the direction of the wind and come back down to North America. And oftentimes, in that scenario, you can usually signify it by the sudden stratospheric warming events. This is today's map. You can see the 19th here. This would suggest about 30 days from now, there's probably going to be a surge of cold air where you see red spots, because warm air rises, cold air sinks. So it's fair to assume there's probably going to be another surge of cold air around the 19th of February. That brings you around Valentine's Day. And as I said last week, we'll have, just because it gets cold, remember, cold air is dry typically. So it doesn't necessarily mean a snowstorm around the 19th of February, but it could be very well cold leading up to the days of Valentine's Day. So time to hug your honey, cuddle your cutie, snuggle your sweetie. You got opportunities to do that as we head down the road. Here's what's interesting. The upper air pattern, this is interesting to note what happens as we get past, say, this week. Once we go into next week, watch the colors start to warm back up. Right on the Sunday, isn't that the day this storm is supposed to occur? Yeah. So the cold air retreats a little bit, turns a little mild here. I mean, that's why I say we're on the inflection point. I heard Miles Henderson say today at noon, he's like, everyone in Hampton Roads knows this, right? You know this is the kind of area that, it could go either way. And we'll have to wait and see. It's too early to tell on day 5 and 6. We can say that we're going to get some heavy precipitation. I have no issues with that. But to assume that this is a slam dunk, that everybody's going to get snow, you do that, and then a lot of people are going to be either angry because the AFC Championship game is being played on Sunday, as is, well, I know on CBS. Here, we're a CBS affiliate. We're going to be airing that ball game. What are we going to do? We're juggling that? We're not going to cut into that football game. There'd be people be mad, right? Hey, we got a couple of inches of snow here in Norfolk. Like, you cut into my football game for that? No. I'm just saying. I'm saying it makes it very interesting to see what happens. We got a lot of things to happen between now and this weekend. And you can see the cold air just spinning down from North America and down toward our area. So we're not out of the woods in terms of cold air. There will be some other opportunities for that. 7:58 right now. 46 was our high temperature today. The record high from 1907 was 73 degrees. We had a beautiful day. As I mentioned, I was there in Edenton with my wife Stephanie on Saturday, right there. But boy, did it get cold, rainy, and gruesome yesterday, right? It was just cloudy. It was a great day to be inside and read a book, right? Or just to cuddle up and just enjoy by a fire. If you had a fireplace, you could hang in there. But today was nice and bright. For Dr. King Day at 46, we're now 10 days above, 9 days below. If you haven't downloaded the free News 3 First Warning Weather app, I hope you'll do so. Works great with the No Weather Radio. Our phones tend to lose charge if we don't pay attention. And if we lose power in the middle of the night, our phones can lose charge. So it's always helpful, I think, to have multiple sources of weather information, and having a NOAA weather radio is a great battery-powered backup when things go awry in terms of storms. And severe weather season will be coming in just a few short months. Average airport delays look fine. I don't see any problems in Atlanta or Philly or Chicago or even Dallas, Texas, but sometimes we can find some problems. It doesn't look like there's much at all. Weather-wise, it looks pretty quiet across the country. So hard to believe, while there's nothing going on in this country right now, right? This is all quiet here. We heard from the National Weather Service via NWS Morehead City that we could have a big storm like this, roughly putting us in the, the 40 percentile for Knoxville, and about a 60% chance of a winter problem in central North Carolina. It looks like it's an orange area. That would be, 50%? Now, think about this. Right? How useful is this map to you? If you're in Hampton Roads, you're in Currituck, Elizabeth City, you're in Franklin, and this is suggesting there's a 50-50 chance, right? I know what some of you are thinking. I know how you think. That means I could flip a coin, Aldrich, and I could determine whether or not we're going to have a storm, right? How useful is that? I personally, this far out, I don't think it's that, helpful that we're watching something, but to get too hung up and click on everything because you need to be a world of certainty, sometimes it's just not that certain. Just like yesterday, some of us got a lot of cold rain, but some of us in Gloucester had some snow. By the way, today through Thursday, this is a 10-day outlook, you can see there is some rain coming up from Houston, coming into Memphis by about the 21st, a couple days from now. And then you bring into, this is the storm. If this verifies, it comes out of nowhere, right? It looks like you've got a very large storm system, and I can't dispute that, but will it move to the north? I can tell you the Canadian model wants to take all of that north of Williamsburg. North, so you'd have a 0 snow. Oh, no, you're killing me already. I'm just telling you, it's not written in stone yet. It's still got a lot of room to breathe. So let it breathe. We'll wait and see what happens. But after that particular event rolls through, you can see that we don't have too many more opportunities, it would appear, through the month of January, because January 29th is where this stops. This takes us through January 29th. Current temperature right now, it's 8:01, 39. It's 10 degrees colder in Suffolk. Believe it or not, 10 degrees colder than Suffolk compared to Portsmouth. It's 40 now in Norfolk, 36 Virginia Beach. Temperature all over the map. 40 in Williamsburg right now, and 33 in Smithfield and Hertford, while they're 40 in Manteo at this time. Other comments, want to say hi to you. Got Amy Thompson on here. I want to say hi to Amy. She's on hashtag Let It Snow. Love it. Thank you, Amy, for letting me know you're here. Let's see here. Who else do I have? To be fair, Amy was saying howdy, y'all. So glad to have Amy here. I got Taj. Taj is saying yes. Awesome. Glad to have him here as well. And we really appreciate all of you that watch it on delay. Maybe you're not watching it live, but you're very much a part of this conversation we're having. So I just want to put your expectations in check. It's very easy. I guess the best way to say this, it's very easy to overreact. I'd rather you react. Okay, got a problem maybe with a weather system this weekend, but to overreact, to get it overhyped up, don't need it. Don't need that. You don't need that stress. Nobody wants that stress. Our newsroom doesn't need that stress. I'm telling you what, we will accommodate you. When we have better confidence, we'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. But boy, is it cold right now in Indianapolis, Columbus. They're in single-digit land right now. 8 in Columbus, 9 in Indianapolis. And we got 40s from Hatteras down to Myrtle Beach. Those are our current readings. Look at this sub-zero dew points. Who ever heard of such a thing? This is like something like you see in Vegas, right? In the desert, you got single-digit dew points in Beckley, Nashville, Knoxville, way to represent with an 11. That's chapstick weather. That's lotion on my knuckles. I need to put some lotion on my knuckles weather. And it's very, very dry all across Charlotte as well. But the 0 temperature you see there in Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's 10 in Des Moines, 4 in Chicago. Everything's modified, but that cold air is likely to stay up there. Look at that, negative 18 in Fort Severn. You knew it'd be negative something or other, and there it is. 17 below. At Pickle Lake Airport in Canada, you can keep that, my friend. Love the Canadians, but that weather, you can have it. We don't need to share that. 43 currently in Jackson, Mississippi, 57 in San Antonio. Now, the coldest air in white is going to continue to rotate around the Great Lakes through the 23rd, 24th. You can see that there. And so we're not out of the woods in terms of the cold air, But the question is, will it marry itself with a snowstorm this weekend? More information will come. But I can tell you this is what the Climate Prediction Center has issued through the 29th. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. It looks really cold relative to averages east of the Mississippi and above normal temperatures out west toward California. If you look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, this takes you through Groundhog Day. It's below normal from essentially Tennessee back toward New England, south Jersey into Florida, below normal even in Florida, while above normal out west through the early part of next month. Now, the Eastern Shore forecast for tomorrow, about 31 in Onancock, 32 in Exmoor. Sunny day tomorrow for Cape Charles. It's just pretty cold, no question about that. Could nudge 40 for Nags Head and Manio, Wanchese, Kill Devil Hills, and Duck. Looking for a temperature around 41 for Rodanthe, sunny there, and Hatteras about 43, Ocracoke 43. Storm Prediction Center typically will yield us a risk category in dark green or yellow if there is something happening, but nothing to report between now and tomorrow morning, and nothing to report on Tuesday either. They go out to about Wednesday rather. Still, no severe weather. This is not the season for that, but we fly back home and you can see it will be quiet here, even heading into Wednesday with the quiet, mostly sunny skies. So let me take you through tonight, and then we'll look again at that storm itself. 11 o'clock, you can see tonight there'll be mostly clear skies. Where do you see a few clouds? Maybe hugging along the eastern shore. I'm looking toward Exmoor. I'm looking toward some of the barrier islands. I'm looking over back toward Virginia Beach, the coastline, maybe around Back Bay at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And some of those clouds might be a little slow to exit. But otherwise, most of us are going to just need the sunglasses through noon tomorrow, as it will be another cold day across the 757 and beyond. By 7 a.m. on Wednesday, another mostly sunny day under developing, but you have a southerly wind there at 9 miles an hour, and it picks up maybe to 11, but it's really quiet through Wednesday. Now, I looked at this. If you're just joining us, we're talking about Saturday. Looks primarily the setup day, where you have a lot of clouds. Now, there's still some movement or some wiggle room where this moisture could go, but based on this latest set of equations of motion from the European model, will look like it's already snowing in parts of Knoxville as early as Saturday afternoon. Once you get into Sunday morning, it's really picked up here. And again, I will urge you to, or at least suggest to you, that when we look at this again, if this doesn't pivot or perhaps move up 50 to 100 miles, and it's a game changer, right? Then you're all in the green and the pink, and the pink might be the worst case scenario because that could be more freezing rain. Do you follow what I'm saying? If it's freezing rain, wouldn't you prefer it to be snow? I think some of you would. But if that has a high element of freezing rain and sleet, then you've got some other issues. But we'll have to wait and see on the inflection point of where that precipitation develops. Because by 10:30 Sunday morning, it would seem like it starts to change over once you get toward parts of northeast North Carolina, whereas maybe more snow from Norfolk, Virginia Beach and north of back towards, say, northern Virginia and into Delaware. So Maryland, all of the areas in mid-Atlantic would suggest some of that snow would also be far-reaching there too. Still too early to tell, and with the devils in the details, we're still 5 to 6 days away. Temperature for lows in the mid-20s tonight. We mentioned the low about 22 for Franklin, 24 for Bertie County and Windsor, about 24 for Moyock, and 26 in Chesapeake. Looking at a Tuesday afternoon high temperature about 38 on the south side. And if you're in the peninsulas, it could be even colder at 35. North Carolina about 40 degrees. But if we break it down even further, Chincoteague about 32, 34 for Cape Charles, about 40 for Franklin, and 42 for Elizabeth City for your high temperatures on Tuesday. So that's where I expect to be come tomorrow. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 38 on Tuesday, 47 on Wednesday. Clearly, I've got some milder air coming in on Thursday. So again, high confidence that we're in this sweet spot for the next 3 days. So no worries there. Let the models do their thing. People hate to hear that, but I think it's true. You know, it's kind of like when you make a wrong turn, your Apple Maps or Google Maps will say, you know, recalibrating, buffering, recalibrate. Let them do its thing. These models will not necessarily be able to pin that jello on the wall with today's run on a Monday for everyone to get all pumped up and excited. I mean, maybe we do get quite a bit of precipitation, but it may not be as much. So think about it this way. Snowfall totals that are being yielded now could come down. The track could change, so it could move further north, it could move further south, and it could speed up, slow down. That's going to be a determining factor of how much snow that you get in your neighborhood. It's not worth getting too excited, but we will see what happens all the same. So look at this 7-day forecast to remind you, I've got us down about 20 Sunday morning, 35 Sunday afternoon based on today's data, and then much colder on sunshiny skies Monday, 36 degrees, starting off around 19 degrees. If I haven't mentioned to you yet, I have these great pictures we call our happy shots. For those of you that love snow, Brenda Davis was kind enough to share. This was actually a video. I just captured one image of it, but this video lives on our Facebook group called WTKR Photographers. Check it out. Snowing in Gloucester County yesterday at 6:30. I don't know if everybody had that experience, but looks like her grass looks pretty coated in white during the course of the last evening. Onancock Bayside evening. Joan Johnson captured this picture some time ago, but love seeing that. Love being able to see the Eastern Shore represented. And Mr. Wynn, non-Wynn, captured the Virginia Beach sunrise, taken, I believe it's maybe even a couple of years ago, but just really artistic and beautiful. Makes you along for the warmer days of summer, which perhaps aren't too many months away, all things considered. Just a reminder, we got a few clouds that might be wisping in now, but they'll move out. We'll have a bright sun-filled day tomorrow. And just to remind you, here's what the forecast is tomorrow. 25 to start, 38 to finish, up to about 47 on Wednesday. Don't forget, if you want a Pozzoli, it's just like a Stromboli or a calzone. It's delicious. One of my favorite items. In fact, it was the first item I ordered at Marco's. They've got the pepperoni and sausage. That's my favorite. But be sure to pair it with one of your favorite dipping sauces. Maybe it's the garlic sauce. Maybe it's the ranch. Maybe it's the marinara or pizza cup. All you have to do is use the promo code WTKR David. You could get, for $10, you get two of these. You could feast on that for a couple of days. There's some really good options here. The chicken bacon ranch is great. The buffalo chicken I've had. But my personal favorite is the pepperoni and sausage. There are 6 locations that are participating in this. Marco's is very kind to give away free pizza as well. But the 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk are the 6 locations that will participate in this week's giveaway. And you can sign up. It's not too late to sign up. We'll announce those winners this Thursday. It's very easy to do. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos. Pizza for a Year certificate looks like this. Happy to give you that winner's name on Thursday. That's when we'll do it. One lucky winner. We'll also give away 10 individual pizzas, as I like to do. I like to do the 10 individual pizzas go out too on Thursday. So everybody will get a chance to maybe win some pizza. But the big winner will get 12 pizzas, essentially one for each day of the week. One of each day of the month, for the pizza for the year is 1 per month, January through December of 2026. The Pozzoli is on the left. Doesn't that look delicious? It makes me hungry right now. If you go to Marcos.com, WTKR David will get you a $5 Pozzoli. And of course, the Magnifico on the right is one of their standard classic pepperoni pizzas, if you haven't tried them yet. But to satisfy your appetite, go to WTKR.com. Marcos. Okay, it's very good. Glad to have everybody with me. Again, reminder, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if the weather is sunny, which it will be tomorrow, or if it's serious, which it could be this weekend. We don't know yet. But either way, every day is a gift. You don't want to skip all the other days. There's 5 or 6 days yet. Those are 5 gifts you haven't opened yet, and haven't made the most of them yet in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.